So I got early access to the Planet Zoo Grasslands pack, and so I decided to make a nice little walkthrough habitat for the red-necked wallabies. And bear with me, their sleeping area is starfish shaped. Let's get on with it. Alright, this is a little bit of a weird video because I've done something that I've never done before, which is that this video is not in chronological order. Basically, what happened is that I've been building here and there on another build, and then I got early access to the Grasslands pack. And so I had to make the decision, alright, am I going to show that other build that I've been working on first, or am I going to show the red-necked wallaby habitat first? And I'm just going to be completely honest here with you guys. Yeah, there's probably just going to be more interest towards the red-necked wallabies or just any animal from the Grasslands pack right now. So then I just decided, alright, let's just break my mind and place the video that is chronologically later than the other build first, just because there's going to be more interest for the red-necked wallabies or the Grasslands pack animals first. So the other build that I've been working on for the past few weeks, you're going to see that later, even though it pains my soul because I want to see things in chronological order. So I don't know if I'm going to show it in like the end shots that I put with the video showing like the growth of Naturalis, which actually came to be just because one of you guys commented it showing like, or asking if I could show like the growth of Naturalis with like each episode showing where the habitat is in like the greater range of all of Naturalis. But yeah, I might blur the other building that I've been working on, or I might show it. I mean, you're going to see it eventually. It's just how much of an ass am I going to be? Am I going to blur it? Or am I going to kind of tease it by showing it barely on screen? I don't know. Anyways, let's get talking about what I'm building right now, because yes, I've been gone for a long time and then I decided to come back and do something that I've never done before. Twice now. Because I made a roof that is, the best way that I can describe it is starfish shaped, or at least that was the thought that I was constantly floating around in my head when looking at this roof, because I've seen like these like really organic looking roofs and I was always thinking like, I can't do that. I don't have the patience for that. And then I found out like, oh yeah, you can just do this and this and this, and then eventually you look or end up looking like, well, that was a very grammatically correct sentence. I miss making videos where I'm basically being a dumbass and show my complete ignorance of the English language and grammar and sense. But what I was trying to say is, if you just do this, this, and that, and then you end up with a roof that looks like Patrick Starfish. Or a, like, Victorian dress for some reason. That was what I was thinking of, even though it's just like any dress if you, like, throw around and it starts, like, flowing and all of that. Yeah. My brain is weird that I went to that place. Or, well, Patrick Starfish. It really doesn't look like a starfish. It's just that it's just flowing in some like points, and I don't know where the starfish reference came from. It's just my brain doesn't like logic, so it just ends up giving me brain farts, basically. That sometimes it's just me going, and sometimes it just throws logic to Jupiter. And then I come up with references to starfish. Again, I really missed making videos. But yeah, the airway infection is gone, so I can talk now for more than 5 seconds without coughing up my lungs. And while the internship is still going on, it's still very busy. I probably won't be able to sleep in the next 2 weeks, because who needs sleep when you need to make a 3D model of a site or like a plan that you've been working on for the entire internship, and now for some reason want to turn into a 3D model because I want to be fancy. I don't just want to make a map of like the plan and everything that I've been working on with the internship. No, I want to make a 3D model, which kind of hurts physically actually this time, because there's basically two kinds of people when it comes to urban planning, or at least that's what I've found so far. You have people who are really into the like research side of things, that really like digging up all of like the information and such, that really like to do like the interviews and just talking to people, trying to figure out like what the community of a site wants, and so that they can basically participate in the planning and in the project and like transformation or the addition of new things in a location. You have people who really love to do that research side. And then you have people who really love to do the visualization and such, showing what it's going to be like, making like the maps and everything. I don't think I need to even suggest which side I favor, because I think the videos and such speak for itself, that I'm very heavily into the visualization side. I love making the maps. I love making like the sort of vision, or I think you call it just like vision images, where you show like what it's going to be like and such. And then I also decided, because, well, basically everybody is doing this right now, but making a 3D model of a site, even though it's painful to do, because, well, at least the way that I did it was painful, because, maybe not work for 15 hours a day. Maybe that's not healthy. But yeah, I started at 9 a.m. working, because, you usually work from 9 to 5. Like, that's a regular work time. And then because I was just so into it, trying to make this 3D model, which I still need to work on because it's not ready, but I was so into it that I just completely forgot time. I still ate and such, because, of course, food. If you can ignore food, then you're not human. But I just worked until midnight. Not because they forced me. Like, after 5 p.m., you can basically just clock out. But I was so into it that I went and worked until midnight. I was working from home though, so it's not like I was in the office at midnight, but don't do that, because I only stopped working because my neck stopped working. Legit, like my neck was just murdering me, because who knew that you shouldn't sit in the same position for 15 hours? But hey, I love doing it, and I want to do it more. I need to do it more, because again, the model is not finished yet. I want to add more things and such, and this really just shows how heavily I am into like the visualization side of urban planning. Yeah, I don't think that's a surprise to anyone, given the videos and how much I'm building. I mean, the channel's basically me building stuff, and now I get to do it in real life, and, well, real life with real work, and I love it. And I should also, stop myself sometimes, but hey, I have deadlines coming up. We've all been there, where there's deadlines coming up and you forget all sense of time and space. Although for me, it's not that I, procrastinated with this. It's just, deadlines. I don't know how to say it any better. Anyways, let's go back and talk about the builds, because I could talk about my internship and urban planning forever. And if I don't shut myself up, I will, because, again, I love doing that stuff. I love just like seeing a map and then thinking, what can I do with this place to improve or add to it, to make it durable even into the future, like 30 years or so. Make something that stands the test of time, and that kind of stuff. Anyways, maybe that's actually how Naturalis and Isu start, because it's futuristic slightly, or modern. Anyways, let's start talking about the actual pack, actual animals, and the actual builds. Because I think you guys have come for that and not me just going crazy about urban planning and my internship. Anyways, so when it comes to this build, yeah, the red-necked wallabies are on the place that formerly was a koala house. And this is where I again want to say to everyone who's saying like, oh, I can never build like this. Yeah, you're on social media. I've built an entire koala house and ripped it out because it didn't look good. But you guys will never see like the mistakes that I make. So it might seem like, oh, you know, you built this and it's like perfect and you never made mistakes. I make mistakes as well. It's just because this is social media, you don't see them. And so that's another reason why I always want to say, never compare yourself to any creator or so, because we make a ton of mistakes. It's only that we have the privilege that we can delete those things and not show them. Or at least we can do that. I mean, you can do that as well, but you know. Anyways, let's continue talking about the actual build. So yes, there was a koala house on this place because every time that I looked at like zoos and such, the koalas were always just completely indoors. And I tried making it work. It didn't work because it was just this really like mess of shapes, which worked when it came to the ice cream shop because it's still kind of the same shapes, like it's all like rectangular and stuff. But with the koala house, it was just, well, there was round shapes, there were like sharp angles, there were squares, there were rectangles. It became a mess. So in the end, I decided to rip it out, then started working on the other build that you guys are going to see later, even though it's chronologically earlier. And then early access for the Grasslands pack game, and you know, I didn't want to do another late early access. And also, again, stats, like just more interest for Grasslands pack right now. And you know, it's the YouTube thing, basically. Anyways, let's continue with the Grasslands pack itself. I always try to do a little bit of like a mini review, or at least give my opinion on the Grasslands pack. And it's not a show-stopping pack, it's not that. It is, however, quite a good pack when it comes to animals. I love that there's actually 4 butterflies, even though is it like 4 butterflies, but they're all like basically remodels of, I don't know. I do really like the animals. I love that we finally have a demon bird, or emu as you regular people want to call it. I call it a demon bird because it looks evil. I mean, Australia is the only place I think that has lost a war against animals. Because yes, Australia had a war on emus, but can you really blame them? I mean, they look like hellspawn. They look like they feast on human babies for dinner. I'm talking about the emus still. But yeah, so I really like the emus. However, I couldn't place them in this location because the habitat would be too small for them. So that's why we went with the wallabies, which I think are actually in Rotterdam Zoo, which is the zoo nearest to me. Might actually be the same wallabies, like the red-necked wallabies, but I'm not sure. I do know that they have wallabies. I was there recently, and that's where the like triangle or tent-shaped buildings that are outside the main sleeping area, or basically in the outdoor section, are based off of. Because actually, are they, or is it just my mind or memory just going haywire? I don't know if they were triangle shaped and shaped like this, but for some reason my memory thinks it, so I'm just going to assume that it is based on those buildings in Rotterdam Zoo, but we will never know for sure. But anyways, when it comes to the Grasslands pack, animals, good. Pieces wise, here is the thing. I never know when it comes to scenery if it was from the pack or from the free update, because if you get early access, you get both at the same time. And I think that the grass and such is from the free update, but I don't know for sure. Look at your game first. But when it comes to all of the grass, this combined with the plants that we get with the conservation or conservation pack are just a dream for anyone who hates the regular Planet Zoo grass, like the standard basic Planet Zoo grass, which I think is hideous. Well, actually, I don't think it's hideous. I really like adding it in like grassy areas just to have a little bit of movement on the ground. But that's it. I want to see the movement. I don't want to see the grass itself. So, yeah, of course, the Grasslands pack is going to have good grass. And it's also like the grass that, unlike the grass that we got with the conservation pack, doesn't have those like blooms or like, I don't know, it just looks like plain old grass. There's no fanciness about it. This is like the grass that will survive a nuclear holocaust, basically. Anyway, so yeah, that's what I kind of wanted to do also with just the habitat. Just have it be a plain, just grassy field. Shocker, for the Grasslands pack, Poison makes Grasslands. I think that like just a month of insanity has been boiling inside me and now it's just coming out. But basically, my opinion on the Grasslands pack, good pack. Surprising for an animal pack, because usually I kinda am just like, nah, but that's because I'm a builder. So of course, if you love animals, it's going to get a better opinion from you than from me, because I'm a builder. So I will be very much more like opinionated. Opinionated is not the right word. I will be biased. That's the word. Anyways, that's basically my mini review, my opinion on the Grasslands pack. And here's the thing when it comes to, well, basically the Australia section in Naturalis, because I decided at the beginning of like Naturalis, I don't want to do like sections that are like inspired by continents. I don't want to have like a European section and an Asian section. But here is my ass making an Australia section. Legit like 6-7 episodes later, after I decided to explicitly not do that. But hey, I'm a flawed squirrel. So yeah, the Australia section is coming along nicely. I might want to redo the foliage and a little bit of the work on the wombat section, because I really liked how the red-necked wallaby habitat turned out. It just feels kind of more like simple and elegant and such than the wombat area, because the wombat area is a little bit more in your face. And I really like the style that I went with the red-necked wallaby. So I might just do some changes. I always kind of dislike the foliage in the wombat habitat. So, I mean, I've already ripped out that bridge because it just looked very clunky. So yes, things do change behind the scenes. And you might see that in the shots at the end of the video. But yeah, I might want to redo the foliage in the wombat area. Because, I mean, with the grass that we got with the Grasslands pack, I can just make it look better. Anyways, that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it.